Welcome to the Interlocking Loops Flosstube. It is October 7th, 2019. Well, it's been a couple weeks. It's time to have an update. All right, let's talk about finished stitching. If you recall, I've been working on the Cinnamon Stars pattern by Plum Street in the beautiful fall colors, and it is done. My goal was to have it done by the end of September. And I indeed met that goal. I made a few little changes, but for the most part, it's pretty much like it's stitched pretty much like it's charted. So, yeah. All right. So I'm very happy to have that finished. That's the first, maybe the second thing I've ever done that won't be made into some kind of a small pillow, that kind of thing. So I'm excited to have that finished. All right, let's see. So let's talk about the new things I have started since we talked last. I think I talked a little bit about wanting to start a new one from Hands-On Design. The Autumn Skies pattern. I could not wait to get this. I just love pumpkins. And I'm not necessarily quite as crazy for the pumpkin spice as everybody talks about, but aren't these pumpkins adorable? And on the border here, I know there's just a little bit of glare, but oh, they're cute. So I started this small pillow first. And I don't have it done, but I have a big part of it done. So I need the borders that go on the pumpkins. And in this pattern, they actually include the felt strips that you need to be able to finish just how she has it done. So I still have those in my little plastic container. So yeah, so that's exciting to get that done. And I must say it's in a nice bag from Quilting Grandma Elkin. So, isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love these. Okay, so yes, you may notice a Bitsy Bob from Kelly Stadola. Yes, it's not exactly in the right theme, but those things are really handy. Okay, so that's been started since we talked last. And those are knit in DMC colors. Another one I started was one that I bought last year, hoping to get started on it, and time got away from me. A Lizzie Kate Halloween sampler. And I don't know how well you can kind of see that, but there's spiders, there's witch hats, there's spooky looking trees, cauldron. So let's see. And I have barely a start done on that, but I started with the tree. I tend to start most of my stitching from the middle of the motif and work out. And I've got to start. I must say, with this new kitten of ours, the stitching has taken a whole other meaning, trying to find spare time when someone isn't trying to chew on your floss. And that one is in a Made by Mama Joan bag I bought last year. With the witches. So okay, the last one that I haven't actually put needle in fabric yet, but it's another one by Hands-On Design. It came out last year, Autumn Acres Farm, and I haven't decided exactly what part of it I'm going to stitch. But look, more cute pumpkins. So I've considered doing, breaking up this and doing, with the truck, or doing the barn. I'm just not quite sure. So I could do the scarecrow over here as well. But aren't these pumpkins adorable? Oh, I love those. I'm going to do that mainly in DMC as well. And that'll be in 14 count chalkboard black, Ada fabric. So it's not as dark as some of them, but it's almost to me like a dark gray, although it reads pretty black on the screen. And I believe I bought this from Down Sunshine Lane. So That's the same black I used in another one of the hands-on design stitches earlier this year. So I hope to have that. I'd like to get a ways on, I think I can probably do that small pillow pretty quickly. And then I can work on the one that's specifically for Halloween, and then I can go back to this Automaker's Farm and do that kind of for fall. So I hope to have that started and some work done on that by the next time we talk. But that'll be something, you know, I do fall stitching clear up until we start decorating for Christmas. And at my house, that decorating doesn't start till after Thanksgiving, so I still have plenty of time. So that's in kind of the plans. I think last time we talked, I also mentioned a little bit about wanting to do a punch needle again, to get one of those started. And I looked at a few different patterns, and a lot of the places that I find you can find really cute ones is the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And this one, the one I decided to start, was from the magazine from 2018 fall issue. Here's what it looks like. I think if you sign up for digital subscription, I think you have access to this issue. What one I decided to go with is the On the Corner of Pumpkin and Vine, designed by Kathy Brown of The Teacher's Pet. That's www.the-teachers-pet.com. The finished size is to be 5 by 7 inches. Isn't that pretty? I like that. So I have it in my lap stand. This is the wrong side, and this is what I have got done, and this is the right side. So you can't even really see the outline of the pumpkin yet. I don't have that, but I've started the flowers, the vine, the stem of the pumpkin, and some of the leafy tendrils that come down. So hopefully next time I'll have the pumpkin outlined and maybe the flowers done. So that's coming along really well. Let's talk about another finished object. It just happens to be knitting. If you remember, I was working on the Soldotna crop. I believe it's by Caitlin Hunter. Oh, those colors kind of pretty. So this one isn't for me. It's for my daughter. And there's the border, the ribbing. It's a crop top. You see very short sleeves. Apparently that's all the rage right now are crop tops. So I finished that for my daughter, and I'll be seeing her soon, and I was going to get it sent off in the mail for her. I didn't get that job done. So I'll be seeing her soon and can give that to her. She already has a dress to wear that with, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Let's see. Another thing I started since we talked last is I'm in a shawl swap with a gal, and I started the Daybreak shawl pattern by Stephen West. Let's see. Try and cover up the actual pattern instructions itself and just try to show you the picture. So this is not a new pattern of Stephen West. There's more of a solid color here at the top where you start, and then you do a striped, and then you do the solid border. So I have that started. I've wanted to make this one for quite a long time, and finally got it started. I will be giving this one away. So I started working, it's on a US 4 Knitter's Pride Carvon's needles. The yarn is from Lorna's Laces Shepherd Sock. That's 80% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, approximately 430 yards per 100 grams skein. So this was purchased actually to do a knit along that it turned out I didn't ever do. I'm apparently not very good at that. And the colors are Fjord and Jamie's Kilt. So according to this, I purchased it in 2016. So it's about time I'm getting some work done on it. So the colors, Jamie's Kilt from Outlander, they're Outlander inspired colors, is a variegated brown with a little bit of gray in it. And so that's the first color. The other one that'll be striped with it is the Fjord, which is a light blue, pretty much a solid blue. So here's what I have done so far. You can kind of see how that is working up. This will be the top, and you continue to add stitches as you go along. And I think that will look nice with that blue. This is for a gal that lives down in Florida. And to me, when I first saw this, I thought sand and sky or sand and water. So hopefully that'll be fitting. It's all fingering weight, so it'll be light for someone in Florida to be able to get some good use out of that. So that I've also started. I am on kind of a deadline with that one, and so that's kind of been taking a little bit of the my time to try to get that done. I've been doing a lot of deadline projects here lately, and it does, I have to say, take the fun out of it just a little bit. But I am pretty good at goal setting, so I do enjoy that part of it. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I finished. Let's go on to talk about acquisitions. So you have probably seen before that I have bought a bag or two from SoMuchToLove.com on Etsy, and I was the winner of essentially a gift certificate coupon from her shop, and I went ahead and used that. Spent a little bit more than that, but I bought another bag and the little small Notions pouch to go with it in pumpkin spice. Oh, very nicely done. Has a nice zipper pull. And the inside is like, it looks black, but it's actually a brown check. So if you haven't ever shopped with her, and that's SEW much, the number 2 and LUV.com on Etsy. So check her out over there. So I have yet to put a fall project in here. I'm not sure which one of these are going to go in that, but it needs to have a project. All right, another thing that I did not realize, did you know the Fat Quarter Shop has about a handful of free cross-stitch patterns that you can print? I stumbled across that and ended up printing 3 of them off. So if you want to go over to Fat Quarter Shop, click on the cross-stitch section. When that page flips up, I think it says something about free patterns or something like that. You can click on that, and I think there's maybe 5 or 6. I ended up copying off 2 of them. Little Quaker Christmas by Susan Ash, and that's ACHE. So I'll give you a glimpse. There's a Little Quaker Halloween by Susan Ash as well. I don't do a lot of Halloween, but my favorite part, there's a little spider right there. And the last one I printed off was by Hands On Design Favorite Brew. And it's harder to tell on this one. It looks like a beaker that has some steam coming out of it. Some kind of potion. So check those out. I printed those off. So yay for, what a surprise. Another thing, Calico Flosstube channel. She's enabled me yet again. This time it was with a Marjolaine Baston cross-stitch collection, her Pumpkins by Lenart kit that she's been working on. I fell in love with that, searched all over, was able to find it on eBay, and it's got, let's see, can you see that with the nice pumpkins? It comes fully with the kit. It's got 8 of cloth, 14 count, which is fine with me, and all the flosses. So, but it's got one of those blue pumpkins in there, and I just love those. Can you see that? No. A nice blue one. So if you are interested in seeing how Calico's doing on hers, because she's stitching hers now for the fall, go ahead and check out her channel. Yeah, so things up and coming. It's fall. We've had a lot of rain. We went from real sunny, real wet, to now it's all of a sudden fall is here, and we're still quite wet. We have been mowing the grass in sections when we can because it gets dark so fast now that it's hard to get very much progress done on that. The garden, I believe this weekend, it's supposed to be cold enough it's going to freeze. So what little I can get out of the garden over the next, probably tomorrow night, will be it. I've picked out, let's see, I've done, made a lot of applesauce. I've made apple pie filling. There'll be green tomatoes I'm going to pull out of there. Those can eventually ripen on your counter. Let's see. Bouquets of zinnias. I gave one to my mom, a big bouquet for her, and I've got a bouquet on the counter now. And I picked a few apples for her. Otherwise, I think I have a few pumpkins. And I'm going to grab those out, and I think the garden will be done. So I kind of hate to see that go because all my tomato plants, they're finally doing well. You know, it was late when we got those planted, and they're covered with a lot of decent sized green tomatoes. So, but you know, I can't control the weather, and I didn't like it really hot like it was, so I guess I need to be happy with what we've got. So, this time of year in the farm, things are really busy. We have, as I think I mentioned before, both sheep and goats, and it's that time of year that the buck or the rams have harnesses on so they can start marking when the girls are bred. And then I can start planning for when I have vacation next year so I can kind of hang out with them and make sure everybody arrives here without being too cold. And, you know, kind of like a nurse to the animals with that. But, you know, I enjoy the livestock and I've got plenty of vacation time. So, you know, I think before the fall is over, we'll be taking my daughter, and my husband and I will be heading down to see our son in graduate school. I hear from him once a week. He sounds fine, but you know, I've never been down there. I've never met his friends, and it's time for Mom to see with her very own beady eyes that he's doing as well as he sounds. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. Even though it's been since August, it seems like it's been a long time. So I'm looking forward to that. I know he won't be home for Thanksgiving, so this will be the chance to maybe see him sometime this fall. I hope to get to see him at Christmas time. We'll see what happens on that. But for the time being, Pumpkin, the kitten, is being entertained by my husband, so he's not too much of a distraction. But for this episode, I think this is it. Until we meet again, happy stitching. Bye-bye.